Gonna be doing the Boston butt. Trying to show with one hand what I'm doing here on the back side of the fat cap. I am putting scores, fat only, across. See that? From the film. Wow. Holding camera. And then we'll go across like so. And that is the plan for the fat cap. And then from there, as you can see, just get you a good sharp knife. It's not hard to do. This tripod free barbecue prep. And I'm using the fat. I'll probably shave a little off the other side, but I usually leave this on and cook in a barbecue. So there you have it. Today I will be using yellow mustard, Killer Hogs barbecue rub. It's that simple. I'm gonna put this on, coat it really good, and then I will, from there, let it sit in the fridge overnight, and we'll start cooking in the morning. So I'll show you the finished product after I put this rub on. So we're using our mustard to bind it. And you can go liberal with the Killer Hog barbecue rub. And it's gonna look really good. Get it everywhere. Get it all in this meat and this creases. You can take it on pretty good. So that's the story there. I'm gonna go over here. Finish. Looks good. So we're gonna let that go all night in the fridge. And we'll start smoking early in the morning. I'm gonna wrap it with saran wrap, let it all hold in, let the meat sweat. I'll be back with you tomorrow. And there you have it, wrapped and ready to go. So we'll stick it in the fridge overnight and be back with you. All right, it's 5:15 in the morning, and we've got our SmokeFire now warmed up at 225. So we're gonna get our meat and get this thing started. So our pork butt's been in the fridge for all night, and it's been sitting there marinating. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little light coat across the top just to freshen up the outside, give us that good bark. And that should do it. And then we'll get it on the grill. So, as you can see, you just put it on, it's gonna show you there. And we got our meat probe in, 37 degrees. We're gonna get that to 160, and then we're gonna wrap it. So that's gonna take probably, I don't know, it's a new grill, probably about 4 or 5 hours. Just to give you a little detail about this Weber SmokeFire. It's got 4 temperature probes right here, as you see. We've got a nice hopper full of plenty of room for pellets. It's on the back side on this one. Kind of like that, gives you more room on the side here. Got a shelf here. You can get add-ons to put a shelf in the front, but I don't have that yet. And you got sidebars and locking wheels. So, there you go. All right, we've been going about 4 hours now. As you can see, the pork is at about 126 degrees. We're gonna hit it with some apple cider vinegar water mix. It's looking good. Nice Get it nice and wet. Get this extra flavoring on there. Next time I'll probably remove this top rack. All right, let's close it back up. Weber. Let's take a look and see. This is about 4 hours. We filled to here. That's how many pellets we've used. I'm just gonna kind of move them on down a little bit. Move things out. And that's where we're at. All right, while we're waiting for the pork butt to get to 160 temp so we can wrap it, a couple of things to show you. You might want to get a bucket if you have a pellet grill, because when you change the different flavors, we're using hickory pellets today, the SmokeFire. They go for the Weber, but you can use any brand pellet. But get a bucket, because when you change different pellet flavors, underneath you just can dump them into the bucket. And then also they make these, I don't have one yet, these little sifter things that you can get rid of the smaller chunks so it doesn't mess up your auger. We're getting ready for the wrap. So we got the wrap ready. We got our transport rack ready. And I'll be back with you here in a minute. Okay, we're at 160. It's pouring down rain in Kentucky, as you can see. And this guy's at 160. So I gotta transport it in and wrap it. And pull the probe out. Get it out here. All right. I'm gonna put my other glove on, which I guess I'm gonna pause it because you're not gonna be able to watch it. First thing to note here, we're gonna rewrap with the probe inside the foil, and then we're just gonna stick it back on there. All right, so as you can see, we got it back on there. We got our probe in, tightly wrapped, and we're gonna leave it on this rack this time around. We're just gonna leave it on there to cook the rest of the way. Okay, so we get on there. I'll give you a peek real quick. We wrapped it. We got our thermal pin in. I'm gonna have it on a grilling rack this time. It's easy transport. I've got my probe reset. I'm targeting 195. 195, and we're probably going through the thermostat, and then we're about 6 hours into this cook. 5 hours actually. Yeah, 6 hours. I got it on there 5:15, and now it's about 11:30. The dog is getting muddy. That's a problem. All right, so another thing I want you to know, Kentucky went down in basketball and played Alabama earlier this week. You all remember when they won the championship, the streets were flooded. Well, we were supposed to play Texas yesterday, and now that game had to be canceled because of COVID protocols. We don't know who's got COVID or what, but anyway, that's where we're at. Kentucky basketball is not doing very well this year, but maybe they'll put it together, win the tournament, the SEC tournament, to get into the NCAA. There's your update on sports. Also like to sneak a sample in the middle of the cook and see what we got. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna add a mystery side to this grill, and if it's a success, I'll share with you. If it's not, it will forever remain a mystery. So I'm gonna throw it out there with the pork butt. And there you see it, mystery dish. Okay, as you can see, we've hit our target temp of 196. So it is time to pull this off and move it in to the kitchen, where we're gonna let it rest for 30 minutes. Meantime, we'll continue to monitor this mystery dish. There's nothing but the mystery dish. So for my mystery dish, I'm just gonna simply change my temp. Oh. Go up there, select. I'm just gonna crank this thing up to 350 and let that go. There we go. We're gonna let it rest for 30 minutes and then we'll have a reveal. All right, I'm in the car on the way back and this car is freaking hot. Okay, I just turned the heat off. I'm on the car on the way back. I'm gonna talk a little barbecue with you. So if you think about barbecue, when you get into South Carolina, the East region is the PD region, and that's the vinegar based. So they're big on vinegar, mopping it onto the pig. If you get into the Central region, that's more the mustard sauce. You saw me put mustard on, but that's more inspired by Malcolm Reed and How to Barbecue Right. And he uses that mustard and then he puts a killer hog, a dry rub on top. So I kind of like his flavors. So I try to model after that. But then if you get into the West region of South Carolina, you're looking at the tomato-based sauces. And then of course Missouri and Kansas City sweet, and then get down to the Southwest, you're looking at the dry rubs. And then that's kind of a summary on that. Now I'm almost home with my sides. Got to have white bread. I'm big on white bread with the barbecue sandwich, so picked up a loaf of white bread. We were out, took some bad meat back to Kroger, and they hooked me up with a refund, and there we go. All right, it's time to reveal the mystery dish in the Dutch oven. Apples and cinnamon. Looks good. I'll let that continue to cook while our pork butt finished up. We've been resting 30 minutes or so let's see what it looks like in here. There we go. Here's the reveal. It looks absolutely delicious. Still very hot, so what I'm gonna do is pause for a second. Let's see. Well, hard to do it with one hand, so we'll show you the end finished product. All right, I'm gonna start shredding. Looks really good. We got a sampling. Really good. And then the bone came right out, so we know we're done. Last thing I'll show you is this. That's all the juice that was in the foil. So we can pour that back on, heat it up, pour it back on after we shred all the pork and add more flavoring to it. That's a wrap. All right, we're all shredded up. I took the fat out of the excess sauce and poured it back in. It tastes delicious. We got the mystery dish, baked apples. It's gonna be really good. I'll get these beans going. And then of course we have the white bread standing at the ready.